2020, Sweden against Switzerland. It would be a fantastic opportunity for either of these nations to progress at this tournament. It would be the first time that they would contest at any tournament. It was expected to be very tight. Sweden had been runners-up at their own tournament in 1958. They had finished third on 2 occasions. It would be the 50th time that they would compete in a World Cup game. It had been 24 years since they last progressed from the second round. That was in the year when they finished third behind Brazil and Italy. They smashed Bulgaria 4-0 in the battle for the bronze medal. For Sweden, Svensson came in to replace Larsson, who was suspended. Switzerland, who had not reached the quarter-final stage since hosting the tournament in 1954, had failed to score at their last three on the last 3 occasions at the knockout stage: in '94 against Spain, 2006 against the Ukraine, and 2014 against Argentina. For Switzerland, unbeaten, beaten only once in 25 games. 2 changes were made at the centre of their defence as Jermik came in to lead the attack for his country. There was to be a positivity at the opening, as both were intent on attacking, with Berg, a goal scorer of 8 goals in the qualifiers, but nothing at these finals, lacked the composure and slashed woefully wide. Moments earlier, a muddle in the Swiss defence gifted Sweden the opportunity of a strike on goal. It was pretty even as yet, with nothing of significance produced by either team, apart from Zuber's wayward header. This following a fine move, there was no hint of any goalmouth activity. Neither keeper tested. Finally, there was some action. Sommer making a fine diving, instinctive save, fully stretched to deny an effort smashed into the ground by Berg. It was touched around the post. Switzerland were dictating most of the possession, making full use of the wings, as Sweden, with men behind the ball, were happy to let them have the possession and breaking out whenever the opportunity presented itself. It certainly wasn't great viewing. Then Gemely, after a fine 1-2 passing with a clear Fionn goal, he blasted wayward and over. It was certainly a wasteful effort. Then Ökdal, with a gaping goal, went for the spectacular instead of the simple side foot into the net. The scissors effort was woefully skied over. The game certainly livened up as the half closed. Shaqiri's dangerous ball across goal would concern the Swedes. As ever, it would lack both sides would lack the final product, the quality in its final ball, especially Sweden. The lack of composure shown in the first half reaped itself again, as Sweden's, Toivonen, was wayward, very close in. Switzerland certainly came out with the intent, as Swedish fans were trying to bring life into its team. The lack of real quality in the contest had plagued, the lack of quality which had plagued this contest continued. There was just 30 minutes remaining, but finally Forsberg, with his 14th shot on target, with a slow drive in on goal, produced what the game was crying for. As the gap opened up and the deflection of Akanji, taking it past Sommer, who was totally wrong-footed. Third time Switzerland had gone behind in this tournament after going behind to Brazil and Serbia, and would it be the fourth straight time that they would lose at the quarter-final at this second round stage? A double change soon followed. Mbolo and Seferovic like coming on with 20 minutes left. Like Switzerland started to pile on the pressure. Sweden were unable to get out. Gronqvist on cue to sweep off the line after the header had been blocked. A double substitution like soon followed for Sweden. A goal scorer, Forsberg and Lustig, who had been found himself unfortunately carded a second time and thus would miss a possible quarter-final appearance. Sweden were like the yellow brick road, real old school last-ditch defending. They were compact, disciplined and resolute. And Switzerland continued to pile on the pressure. Time was certainly running out. Sweden, there were 3 minutes of stoppage time. Olsen down low to deny Seferovic with a glancing header at the near post. It really looked over for Switzerland as they chased an equaliser, leaving them open. And Olsen, who had recently just entered the field, chasing through and being nudged in the back by Lang. VARs were consulted as it was deemed that the initial incident had taken place outside of the area. This after a penalty had been initially awarded. The free kick stood as Lang left the field. Torvinen's free kick would be the last action of the match, as Sweden for the first time in 24 years had reached the quarter-finals. Switzerland would fall again, just as they had in 94, 2006 and 2002. Sweden just about would deserve their victory.